So I'm back to my painting of Isabelle today, and during my last session I got down an initial coat of oil paint and sort of mapped out highlights and shadows and blocks of color. So today I'm going to focus a little more area by area to refine it and get the values and colors where they need to be. So again, I generally work from back in space, the deepest part in space, to the front, to the foreground. So I'm going to start today with the wall and with the pillows. So the first thing I'm working on here, I noticed that my wall is actually quite darker than what I have it here, which is going to help the light colors of the pillows and the bedding stand out if I darken this wall a bit. So now I can see a much better contrast between my wall and the pillows and bedding. Since I'm already working the wall area, I think next I am going to go into the painting on the wall. It doesn't have enough contrast between its edge and its front, and this color is a little bit too peach. So I'm working right now on mixing this color. It's very yellow currently, but it needs to be this really kind of toned down yellow gold. So I've started with some yellow and some umber, and I'm slowly adding in purple to get it neutralized as much as I need. And a little bit of white when it gets too dark. And I'm slowly going over that line between the sort of background and this form because it is a little hazy or out of focus in my image, so I just want to soften that edge between the two. I think I'm going to leave the artwork like that. I keep messing with it and fiddling with it, but in all honesty, it is in the background, it is slightly out of focus. I probably am not going to need as much attention to it as the areas in the foreground, so the fact that it is a little hazy and loose and out of focus is probably good, and I probably need to leave it alone. So now I have two palettes that are filled up with various sort of gray tones from the from the wall and the painting hanging on the wall. And my brushes are loaded with a lot of these gray neutrals in them. The next place I'm going to work is down here in the fabric, and there are a lot of sort of cream tones in there, so I need to regroup a little bit. I'm going to get a new palette ready and do a rough cleaning of my brushes in the walnut oil so that I don't accidentally gray anything out that I don't want to. So right now I'm working on all of the sort of cream colored bedding. I've started in on the pillows back here. I've got a little bit of it behind Isabelle, and then I have this piece in the corner. Now, I've mentioned before that I work from back to front, so it might seem as if I would leave this corner till last because it is sort of the frontmost part of the image, but it's actually underneath other things. So the green shirt, the peach tissue paper, and Isabelle are all on top of this front piece of cream bedding, both the bedspread and the sheets here. So I'm going to paint these before I go in to the shirt, the tissue paper, and my cat because they're actually on top of this. Now I did want to point out a little technique or shortcut I use for fabric folds for something that is indistinct or in the distance. So these pillows back here are fairly out of focus. They're not really a source of much detail in the painting. However, they do have some, especially this pillow has some folds. So my easy trick, give the illusion of fabric folds, is basically to make a dark squiggle. So my squiggle in my shadow color gives this quick just impression of some bunched fabric or folds back here without actually a lot of detail. Okay, I think I'm happy with the level of detail and contrast down here in the lower left corner now. So now I have this sort of charcoal colored, I'm not sure what it is, fabric pillows, something that peeks out in a few areas here, and I've kind of still left that the purple of the underpainting. So I want to get that charcoal color in there because it is behind these three things. And then I'm ready to begin on Isabelle and the peach and the green. So to create this kind of charcoal color, I've just mixed some cobalt blue and raw umber. And that's going to give me a nice sort of dark neutral. Okay, I think that is all of the charcoal that I see. And I'm going to save some of this color because I think it's also going to be a good value for these really dark shadow areas in the green. So you can see I did go in and sort of map out those shadows with that charcoal color, which actually turned quite green once I placed it inside the green fabric. So at this point, I think I'm ready to go in and work on Isabelle. She is sort of central here with the peach tissue paper in front of her, and then the green shirt in front of that. So I think she is the next logical place for me to work, and I will pick that up in a later video.